All right, let's dive in. We're taking on meme coins today, getting into the nitty-gritty of one in particular, Turbo. You've sent in, wow, a whole bunch of stuff, articles, research, even some trading signals. Looks like you're trying to figure out, is this just another meme coin riding the wave, or is there something more to it?
Yeah, it's a good time to be looking into this. Meme coins are, well, they're changing fast, and Turbo seems to be right up there leading the charge, especially with this Turbo chain, their own blockchain.
That's right. You don't see that every day, a meme coin launching a whole blockchain. But okay, first things first. What really caught my eye, I gotta say, is that this Turbo thing, it was designed with AI, GPT-4 no less, a bot making cryptocurrency. That's like some out of a movie.
It really shows you how much AI is getting into everything, even crypto. What's interesting here, though, is the creator, Rhett Mankind. He designed it with AI, sure, but then he turns around and hands it over to the community. So it's really community-driven, which seems to be a big deal for Turbo.
Yeah, and a lot of these sources you sent, they point out that community involvement, that's a big part of why some of these meme coins do so well. But is community enough to, to make it last, to turn a meme coin into something real? Some of these articles, they're saying Turbo might be shooting for something more than just, going viral for a week.
Okay, let's unpack that. You've got info here on, let me see, BTFD coin and Osaka protocol.
Two other meme coins.
I guess you could say trying to be more than just hype. BTFD, they're all about staking rewards, and they've got this play-to-earn gaming thing going on. Osaka protocol, on the other hand, they're trying to bring memes into DeFi.
So they're both adding something, trying to give it some use, some value beyond just the meme part. So where does that put Turbo in all of this? Where do they fit in?
Turbo seems to be doing a bit of everything. Building liquidity pools, to keep the trading going, developing NFTs. Got to have those to get the community engaged, and even get this partnering with charities. Seems like they're trying to appeal to a broader audience, maybe.
Yeah.
They're definitely working on building a whole ecosystem around the Turbo token.
And then there's this whole Turbo chain thing, which is everyone's talking about it. They're working with Aurora Labs and Near Protocol. Not exactly small names, especially for a meme coin.
Definitely a big move, no doubt about it. Having their own blockchain, that could give Turbo a lot more control over everything they're doing, and might even attract developers, people to build apps that use Turbo.
The articles are saying, let's see, Turbo Chain is going to be super fast, lots of transactions, scalable, and developers can customize it. Plus, you know how everyone hates gas fees? Well, on Turbo Chain, you pay those in Turbo.
Yeah, that could definitely get people using Turbo more. But we gotta be careful with these claims about speed and all that. A lot of blockchains, they sound amazing on paper, but when you actually use them, it's a different story.
That's true. We'll have to dig deeper into how Turbo Chain actually works later. But okay, before we jump ahead, there's something else you flagged that I'm curious about. Turbo Swap.
Ah, yes. Turbo Swap. The platform that supposedly makes it easy to trade Turbo. What were your first thoughts on that?
It seems like they want to make it really simple for anyone to get Turbo, to buy it. You can trade Bitcoin, Near, Ethereum, even Tether, all for Turbo. And once you have it, you can send it to your wallet, whether it's on Ethereum, Near, or this new Turbo chain.
Smart move to make it easy to get. Could bring in a lot of new users. But here's the thing. Are those new users coming because they believe in the project, or just because it's easy to buy?
Yeah, good question. Something to think about. But before we get into, why people are buying and all that, there's one more thing we got to talk about. These trading signals.
Right. You've got this source here that's giving specific signals. When to buy Turbo, what price to aim for, even where to set a stop loss. But before we even get into the numbers, got to say this loud and clear. These are just opinions, not financial advice.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more. Investing in crypto, especially meme coins, man, it's risky. Prices go up and down like crazy and things can change so fast. You always got to do your own research and don't invest anything you can't afford to lose.
You got to look at these signals with a critical eye. What are they basing these suggestions on? What about, the overall market? Are there certain price levels that Turbo might have trouble breaking through?
Good points. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, thinking about making money, and forget to look at the big picture. What about the stop loss, they say, to set it at 0.000098? Is that a good level?
A stop loss can help you, to manage risk, but it's not perfect. The market can move really fast, prices can drop suddenly, and you might end up selling Turbo for less than you wanted.
So even with a stop loss, you could still lose money. It's a good reminder that crypto, it's not a guaranteed win, especially with meme coins.
That's right. And remember, this is just one person's opinion. There are tons of other traders and analysts out there, each with their own view on the market. Do your own research, figure out your own strategy, and never, ever invest more than you can afford to lose.
Back again for more of the deep dive. We're still digging into Turbo, this AI-created meme coin that wants to be, more than just a meme. Before we took a break, we were about to get into those trading signals you sent in.
Yeah, those signals definitely worth taking a closer look. But remember, just because we're talking about them doesn't mean we think they're good advice. We're just trying to, see how some traders are looking at Turbo.
Right. It's all about understanding different points of view, and then you can make your own decision. So this source is saying the best time to buy is between 0.0105 and 0.0107, and they think the price could go up to, somewhere between 0.012 nins and 0.10120. They even say to set a stop loss at 0.00980.
Okay, interesting. But why those numbers? They say there's strong momentum. The price is going up past 0.0105.
Yeah.
And more people are buying and selling. But got to look at the whole market, right? What's happening overall? Are there any price points where Turbo might get stuck?
Yeah, true. Easy to get excited about, maybe making money and forget about everything else that's going on. What about that stop loss at 0.00098? Does that make sense?
Well, setting a stop loss, that's a good way to protect yourself, to make sure you don't lose too much, but it's not a guarantee. Sometimes the market moves so fast, the price drops suddenly, and you might end up selling for way less than you wanted.
So even with the stop loss, you could still lose. It's like a reminder that crypto, it's not a sure thing, especially these meme coins.
Exactly. And don't forget, this is just one person's take on things. There are so many other traders out there, each with their own, way of looking at the market. You got to do your own homework, come up with your own plan, and never, ever put in more money than you can afford to lose.
All right, let's move on. Let's get to the heart of what Turbo is trying to do. Turbo chain. It's not every day a meme coin, launches its own blockchain. Definitely got people talking.
Yeah, it's a bold move, that's for sure. And whether Turbo chain works or not, that could make or break Turbo in the long run. We talked about some of the good things earlier, but let's get into the technical stuff now.
Works for me. I'm really curious about this Aurora Labs partnership. They have this thing, Aurora Cloud, that's supposed to make building a blockchain way easier, right?
Right. Aurora Cloud is supposed to take away a lot of the complicated parts of blockchain development, so more people can use it, even if they don't know a ton about coding.
So it's kind of like a drag and drop way to build a blockchain. That's pretty crazy.
In a way, yeah. It makes it so anyone can create a blockchain, even communities like Turbo. They don't need to hire a bunch of, expert programmers or anything.
And they're also working with Near Protocol, which is, they're pretty big in the blockchain world. What did they bring to the table?
Near is known for being scalable, meaning it can handle lots of transactions. It's also easy for developers to use, and it's secure, safe from attacks. All super important for something like TurboChain, which wants to have all kinds of apps running on it.
So we've got Aurora Cloud making it easy to build, Near Protocol making it scalable and secure. Sounds like a pretty solid foundation. But what about TurboChain itself? What makes it different from other blockchains?
Well, one thing they're saying is that it's going to be really fast. TurboChain is supposed to be able to handle a lot more transactions per second compared to, a lot of the blockchains out there. So confirmations will be faster, and it'll be a smoother experience for users.
Yeah, that would be nice, especially for people who are used to, waiting forever for their transactions to go through. And don't forget, all the gas fees on TurboChain, you pay those with Turbo. Gives the token even more uses within its own ecosystem.
True. But got to remember, these claims about speed and all that, you got to see how they hold up in the real world. Lots of blockchains, they sound great in theory, but then when you get a lot of people actually using them, well, things can slow down.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll have to see how TurboChain does when it really gets put to the test. But speed isn't everything. The articles also mention that TurboChain is supposed to be really customizable, so developers can build all sorts of different applications on it.
Yeah, being customizable, that's important if you want to have a vibrant ecosystem. Developers need to be able to build apps that do specific things, that meet different needs.
Imagine playing games, managing your money, even voting on things, all using Turbo, all running on TurboChain. It'd be like its own little crypto universe, but for the Turbo community.
That's the idea, yeah. That's what they're going for. But building a successful blockchain, it's not easy.
Yeah, I bet there are a lot of A lot of challenges. What are some of the things TurboChain might have trouble with?
Well, one big thing is getting developers to use it. There are so many blockchains out there. Developers have a lot of choices. TurboChain has to like convince them that building on TurboChain is the next big thing, even though it's connected to a meme coin. That might be hard.
It's like they need to prove that, that it's not just hype, that it's something real.
Another thing is, well, no blockchain is an island. If TurboChain wants to be successful, it needs to be able to connect with the other big ones like Ethereum and Bitcoin. That way, people can move their assets around easily, which would, help Turbo get more popular.
So it's not just about building a good blockchain, it's about connecting it to the rest of the crypto world. And we can't forget about the community, right? Even with the best tech, a blockchain won't succeed if it doesn't have a strong community of users and developers.
Absolutely. The community, that's the heart of any blockchain project, especially one that started as a meme coin. Turbo needs to keep the community engaged, show them that TurboChain is more than just, riding a trend.
So TurboChain has a lot of potential, but also a lot of challenges. Going to be interesting to see how it all turns out. Oh, before we move on from TurboChain, one more question. Is it safe?
Security. That's the most important thing in the blockchain world. And TurboChain, it benefits from Near protocol security. Near uses something called proof of stake, which is, good for security and also good for the environment. That helps protect the network from attacks and make sure transactions are, legitimate.
Okay, good to know. Sounds like TurboChain has a lot going for it, but it's still early. We'll just have to wait and see.
Exactly. TurboChain is still being developed, and whether it succeeds depends on a lot of things, like how the technology improves, how involved the community is, and what happens in the crypto market overall.
Speaking of which, that's a perfect transition to our last section. We've talked about Turbo's AI origins, the community, TurboChain, even those trading signals. But what does it all mean for you, the listener?
That's the big question, right? We've given you a lot of info about Turbo, looked at the good, the bad, what it could mean for the whole crypto world. But the decision? It's up to you.
These are questions only you can answer. Do you believe in what Turbo is trying to do? Do you think TurboChain can become something, something big?
We've given you the knowledge, helped you understand this whole Turbo thing, but the choice, it's yours. Are you going to jump in and take a chance on Turbo? Or are you going to sit back and watch what happens?
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with Turbo, where it came from, the community, the tech behind it, even those trading signals. But now, gotta look ahead, right? What does Turbo tell us about the future? Not just for meme coins, but for all of finance.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Turbo's trying to be more than just a meme, especially with TurboChain, and that opens up some interesting possibilities.
One thing I keep thinking about is the AI part of it all. Turbo was designed with AI, with GPT-4. What if it really takes off? Are we going to see a bunch of AI-made tokens popping up everywhere?
It's definitely impossible. Creating a cryptocurrency, it's already not that hard. And with AI, it could get even easier. Imagine anyone with a good AI program could just, design and launch their own token.
Wow, that's kind of wild. Does that mean human creativity won't matter anymore in crypto?
Well, not exactly. AI can write code, it can find patterns, but it's still limited by, the data it has and what people tell it to do. Human creativity, having good ideas and a vision for the future, that's still going to be important.
So it's not about AI replacing humans. It's more like AI helping humans do more.
Right. AI could become a tool for developers, to make things faster, to find better ways to do things. But the big idea is the drive behind a project that's probably always going to come from people.
This brings me to TurboChain. We've talked about what it could do, the challenges, but what if it actually works? What would that mean for the whole crypto world?
If TurboChain really gets going, attracts developers, gets a bunch of apps built on it, people actually using it, then it could change how we think about meme coins.
It could break down the barriers between meme coins and I guess you could say, the more serious crypto projects.
Yeah, exactly. It would show that a meme coin can be more than just a joke, that it can have real uses and value.
That would be huge. But gotta be realistic, right? Turbo and TurboChain, they still have a lot to prove.
Definitely. And crypto's always unpredictable. Something that looks amazing today could be gone tomorrow.
That's why it's so important to really do your research, think for yourself, and only invest what you're comfortable losing. No matter how good something looks, there's always risk.
That's right. But even with the risk, It's exciting to see what projects like Turbo are doing. They help us imagine what's possible, to think differently about finance.
Okay, so listener, what do you do with all this information about Turbo? We've taken a deep dive, looked at the potential, the risks, what it could mean for the bigger picture.
Now it's your turn. You got to take all this information, do your own research, and decide if Turbo is right for you. Does it fit with your goals? Are you okay with the risk?
This deep dive, it's just the start. The crypto world is huge, it's always changing, and there's always more to learn. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep digging deeper. Who knows what amazing things are coming next?
And that's a wrap on our Turbo Deep Dive. Hope you enjoyed it.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the world of knowledge.